Okay, let's try that again. It's Firmicutes and Bacteroidetes. That's what we're talking about right now.
Get a wildfire burning, visualize it. I'll give it something to do.
This is John Gabriel, author and creator of the Gabriel Method, and back in 2004 I lost over 220 pounds without dieting and extreme exercise. I've been the same weight since, and I've now dedicated my life to teaching the theory, art, and practice of permanent, sustainable weight loss. And what I'd like to talk to you about today is hibernating bears, because it turns out that hibernating bears have another piece in the puzzle of permanent sustainable weight loss, and that is that there's a clue in hibernating bears that demonstrate to us the importance of having friendly bacteria. Now, more and more studies are coming out all the time linking bacteria in your intestines to weight gain. If you have the wrong type of bacteria in your intestines, you will gain weight. If you have the right type of bacteria in your intestines, you will lose weight. So this study was recently published in the journal Cell Reports, and what they did was they followed and measured 16 brown bears, and they measured their bacteria. So it turns out that a brown bear, before they hibernate, they will gain twice as much fat. So their fat stores will increase by twice as much before they hibernate. What they also found is that before they hibernate, the bacteria in their intestines changes to favor weight gain. So there's more of the unfriendly bacteria, known as Firmicutes, and less of the friendly bacteria, known as Bacteroidetes. So when you have more of the unfriendly bacteria, the Firmicutes, you gain weight, and that's what happens with brown bears. And to test this, they took the bacteria from the intestines of brown bears before they were about to hibernate, while they were gaining weight, and they injected it into mice that had no bacteria in their intestines. So these mice were bred to have no bacteria in their intestines. They injected it into these mice, and these mice gained weight. So just by putting the bacteria from the intestines of brown bear into these mice before they were hibernating, before the bears were hibernating, this particular combination of bacteria, which is more of the bad bacteria, the Firmicutes, those mice gained weight. The interesting thing is that after bears are done hibernating and they start to lose weight, which then they're out and actively start to lose weight, the bacteria, prior to losing weight, their bacteria changes and they have more of the friendly bacteria, the Bacteroidetes, and less of the Firmicutes. And they took the intestinal flora, the microbiome, or the bacteria from these same bears after they were done hibernating, and they injected it into other mice that also were bred the same way to not have any type of bacteria in their intestines. And those mice did not gain weight. And then they took that same bacteria and injected it into the mice that gained weight, and those mice lost weight. So it basically demonstrating that it's the bacteria in your intestines that more than anything will indicate whether or not you gain or lose weight. And that's important for us because most of us have unfriendly bacteria in our intestines, and it's causing us to gain weight. So the take-home message of this study and many, many studies that are coming out right now is that you've got to take care of your friendly bacteria. How do you take care of your friendly bacteria? You add more fermented foods, you add probiotics. Digestive enzymes will also help in digestion. You have more real foods and less processed foods. And by doing that, you will change the bacteria in your intestines. You can also do cleanses and detoxes. But that's what I recommend, is that you have, as much as possible, you develop a lifestyle that favors friendly bacteria. So for me personally, I always have probiotics in the mornings and during the day, and maybe in the evening. I always have fermented veggies like sauerkraut and kimchi with my meals whenever I can, especially when I'm home, because it's in the fridge. And I'll have fermented drinks like coconut kefir, and I'll have sprouts and juices, and I'll eat real foods, organic and biodynamic foods, and I won't wash the produce if it's live, because if the produce is organic or biodynamic, it means that the soil has lots of digestive microbes that we're also starving for. And all these different ways, I am constantly trying to increase the friendly bacteria in my intestines as opposed to the unfriendly one that comes from eating processed foods. So by doing this, you can change your microbiome. It's going to make it infinitely easier to lose weight. So that's it for now. We'll talk lots more about bacteria in other articles and other blogs, and I'll speak to you soon. Take care.